If you're looking for the best of the best, the highest quality possible, you want to learn about the markets, you want to learn about haggling, you want to learn about all the scams in Istanbul, you want to learn about like what's traditional food, you want to learn about some key words you should know in Turkish, how to get around the city, how to get to and from the airports to the central locations of Istanbul, whether it's Istiklal Street area, Sultanahmet area, Taksim Square. Get my guide. It is all in there. I explain everything.
Download now. The ultimate guide to Istanbul.
Now, one thing about Istanbul you guys got to know is that Istanbul is not a morning city. I've said this many of times before. It was one of the biggest shocks for me when I first came here many years ago. Coming from New York, you're used to people up at 5, 6 in the morning, cities hustling, bustling, people getting around, people going to work. And that shit continues from like up until 9, 10 in the morning, and then you have your normal traffic throughout the day. Here, it is way different. 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, there's nothing. There's really nothing. If you're a morning person, you're looking for a place to get coffee, get breakfast, you're gonna have very few options. It's just not the way the city operates or works. You'll notice a lot of the shops don't open till 10 in the morning, things like that. Now, if you're talking about reps and fakes, the Grand Bazaar does open technically at 8 a.m. in the morning, but most places are not fully open until about 9, some later than that. You're not gonna have the full experience if you try to shop early. Shopping early in the day in Istanbul is just not rewarding unless you don't like crowds. If you don't like crowds, then yeah, you want to get out in the morning, but very few things are going to be open. And that's another thing too. If you're coming here for the very first time, you don't know what to expect, I recommend you stay right off of Istiklal Street, especially if you're staying for 3 to 5 days and maybe shopping is just a one-day experience for you. It's not an everyday thing. You really want to stroll around, you want to relax, you want to take it all in, you want to sightsee, you want to have a lot of options throughout the day from start to end. Staying around Istiklal Street is going to be the best option. Just because there's so much more to do, you don't feel restricted to having to go to your hotel, your Airbnb to spend time, If you stay in the Sultanahmet area, honestly, once 7 o'clock rolls around, everything is kind of starts to shutter, By 8 o'clock, the whole entire area is kind of closed down. And then between 8 and like 10, there's very few things to do. And after 10, there's even less to do. And I mean less, I'm talking like, 1 or 2 places to get coffee. There, your choices of food is going to be overpriced restaurants or a couple of kebab places here and there. Whereas if you stay off of Istiklal Street, you're going to have stuff open, way past midnight. You're going to have just stroll around and walk, Shops will be open to midnight, Now, if you're looking for fakes and reps and stuff like that and dupes, no, it's not the area to do that. But if you just need something to do and walk around and sightsee and just take it all in and, have options, staying off Istiklal Street is definitely is good for a first timer. If you come here multiple times, if you come here at least once a year, 2 times a year or more, unless you need a change of things, I wouldn't stay off Istiklal Street. I would stay in the area where you're going to spend the most of your time. So if you're coming for like the market, say shopping, that's why you watch me, I would stay in the Sultanahmet area, the Fatih area. I would stay somewhere around there, Secretary, Eminamu area, like I would stay in that area. So I'm close to the markets, which allows you to then go shopping, right? Go back to your hotel, your Airbnb, drop off your stuff, take a break, go have lunch or something, then go shop again, and then go drop your stuff off and go shop again. And this way you're not spending time traveling around because the markets open at 8 a.m., they close at 7 p.m. And you could spend your whole time, and you don't have to carry a ton of shit with you. You just go drop it off, come back. That's why if shopping is your plan, staying in Sultan Ahmed area, stay in the Fatih area overall is the best bet. I would stay as close as I could to the Grand Bazaar, the markets, if shopping is my goal. Just because you won't waste your time. You won't waste your time getting to and from. You won't have to weave through a lot of people trying to get where you want to go. And like I said, you don't have to carry your stuff all day long. You go drop it off, take a break, get something to eat, like I said, come back out, shop, go do, and you have from 8 to 7 to do that. And that is, if shopping is your goal, that's what you do. If sightseeing is also your goal, you might want to also stay in that same area. You might want to stay in Sultan Ahmed. If sightseeing, if you're looking to do all those things where you're going to stand on long lines and wait, Sultan Ahmed is also another good area. If you want just a vibe, if you want to capture like where most of the tourists come to, if you want to, like I said, have something to do from the morning until well past midnight, and you want, hey, listen, we go to one restaurant, it's packed, can't get in there, and you're like, where can we eat? Where can we go? That can happen in Sultan Ahmed, where you're like, nah, I don't want to eat here, I don't want to eat there. Whereas like here off Istanbul Street, there are just so many different places you can eat, all different types of food. Like I said, there's so many coffee shops, bars, there's live music venues, nightclubs. Everything is off of Istanbul Street. So I would look at it like, if you're looking for that type of vibe, especially if you're on the younger side, or just maybe you like to go out for a drink after dinner, this is the area to do it. That's not the place. Sultan Ahmed is not the area for that. You're not going to enjoy yourself trying to find a place to have a drink and stuff like that, because it's not the vibe. It's totally different. It is completely different. Now you say, what about the Asian side, Chris? Now listen, I've never stayed on the Asian side. Some people like Karakoi. You get more for your money on Karakoi. That's hands down. So if you're more of a budget-friendly traveler, then yeah, Karakoi is probably for you. But just remember, you have to take the ferry over and spend the time to take the ferry over to then go to the markets to do your shopping. Because the markets in Karakoi are trash. They're terrible. You're not going to find, if you want high quality, you're not going to find it. Now you got to lug all your stuff back on the boat, back across. And let's just say, there's something you didn't buy, you want to go back to get it, That means you have to plan another day to go back across, to take the ferry, to get to the markets and shop. Or maybe say something you bought is damaged, or you need to switch out things, so you're going to have to do all that. So, time is money. So a lot of times people are maybe budget friendly on their accommodations, but they haven't been here before and understand what it takes to get to and from. And if you don't take the ferry, then you gotta take a taxi, and that's gonna be way more expensive. And also too, if you're flying into IST and you're staying in Karakoi, the traveling time is ridiculous. And then with traffic, it's ridiculous. Where if you're flying into IST, obviously you're gonna stay over Istanbul Street or Sultan Ahmed, Fatih area. Whereas if you're staying in Karakoi, you wanna fly into SAW. That's another thing you should do. This is why my guide is the best thing. A lot of questions you guys ask me about the markets, especially Istanbul overall, all answered in my guide. And if you feel that like it's not in detail enough, or you have a specific question that needs answering and you're just a little unclear with the guide of like, okay, he said this, but I'm still a little sure, you can always hit me up, especially on WhatsApp or Instagram, and I can try to help you out the best I can. If you have a lot of questions, then obviously that's going to be a little rough. I don't have the time to answer people in detail. You can book my time. You can get a consultation. This way you could get a half hour with me and just ask me a bunch of questions about Istanbul and whatever you are trying to do for your trip. But other than that, everything's answered in my guide. My guide's free. Like, it's completely free. I just put all my personal knowledge, all my personal experience, all the stuff I've shared with you guys on the camera over these years, and I just put it in the guide. This way, like, you guys don't have to ask the most basic of questions. when it comes to, coming to Istanbul, because most of you guys have the same questions. You guys ask the same questions year after year, and it becomes a lot of times, when you're getting 100 messages plus a day from people asking the same repetitive question. That's why it's best to get the guide. That's why I promote my guide in every video I put out. It's in part of the intro is get the guide, because the guide just answers so much. It just answers so much, and I'm always trying to add to it to give you guys more information. So that's it, man. Just get the guide. Just get the guide and enjoy Istanbul. Cheers.
If you find this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing.